The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Justin Fields said 4 words that could save the New York Jets. We'll talk about those words and much more. Let's go, Knicks. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Saturday, our final show in the month of May. Appreciate all the Asmaniacs who continue to tune in, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Nick Shine and Connor Long for doing a brilliant job filling in for me yesterday on the show. But I'm back, and we got a whole lot to talk about. I certainly will hit on tonight's Game 6 between the Knicks and the Pacers. The goal for the Knicks, bring it home. Get it back to Madison Square Garden for a Game 7 on Monday. More on that coming up. Plus, I want to share this right off the top of the show. This is the final show that you have a chance to enter the Asmaniac Raffle, which will be on Monday. So if you want in on a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, a signed Joe Namath jersey, or a signed CJ Mosley jersey, gift memberships or send in the requisite super chats to be eligible for this show. All super chats and gifted memberships are +2. So it's a boosted opportunity to get entered in the raffle on our first show on Monday. With that said, let's talk about the Jets, and let's specifically now talk about the QB1 for this team. Justin Fields, speaking after the Jets had an OTA the other day, said a bunch of things that I found to be noteworthy, but nothing bigger than the 4-word claim that if he's right, this Jets team could actually be saved. This was Fields on the expectations for himself this season.
I think I can be great, that's been the goal for me my whole life, my whole career. So, like I said, I think the sky's the limit, for this team, for this offense. But we do have a long way to go. Like I said, our offense and defense are new, so guys are, really tuned in and locked in and trying to get everything down. But I think, once we do, I think the sky's the limit. I mean, we have, all the guys we need. We have all the talent. So it's really just going to come down to discipline and execution when the games come.
So I listened to the entire Fields press conference, and I also listened to the interview he did on the Jets in-house podcast with Eric Allen. And I'll play you some clips from that coming up. One of the things I really like about Fields, there's going to be no drama with anything that comes out of his press conference setting. Like even the quote, "I could be great," the longer quote there, it's not like saying, "I could be great." That's been the goal for me my whole life, my whole career. I think the sky's the limit for this team, for this offense, but we have a long way to go. Like what he said about Tanner Engstrand, how Engstrand's putting a lot on their plate now, and he believes that is going to help them when it comes to this team going out there and executing in training camp and getting up to speed, and then that translating to the regular season as well. I like what Engstrand said about Fields. He wasn't going to be baited into an answer, "Oh, well, I've never worked with a running quarterback, so it's going to take time." The answer Engstrand gave on that was, yeah, I mean, everyone talks about his ability running. Well, the guy's got an arm too. He's going to be able to go out there and allow us to do a lot more. He's going to give us an opportunity to diversify what they're going to do. I also liked when they tried to essentially get Fields to say something deflammatory or create some sort of headline on the fact that, hey, it's Jets taking on Fields' old team, the Steelers, in week 1. Fields wouldn't give a real answer on that. Quote, "That's who we play week 1. It wasn't really a thought to that." Then they asked him, "Any extra emotion?" No. I mean, that's what you want, right? Like Fields has got the right mentality to play in this market because you don't want to give the media headlines. You don't want to give stories. But he's got to play well. We understand that. But just from a media presence, I like the temperament that we see from Fields. Got to play well. Everyone understands that. But I expect this guy to go out there and be given every opportunity to be the guy. They're not going to pull the plug on him quick. For those saying, well, they have Tyrod Taylor. We know what Tyrod Taylor is. This is Justin Fields' team, for better or worse. They will give him the year. And if he's not the guy, we know what they're going to do in the draft next year. But they're going to give Justin Fields the year. That much remains obvious. That much is clear. It's his team for the year. So ultimately, Justin Fields, will he sink or swim? We're going to find out. But they're going to do everything in their power to try and help him swim. Some more quotes from Fields that I find to be notable. Fields on his relationship with Aaron Glenn. This was during the Jets in-house media interview that Fields did with Eric Allen.
I liked AG before, but actually being here, being with him every day, I mean, you can't help but to like him more and more. Just the way he leads the team, the way he's straightforward with the team, and just building that relationship with not only me, but the rest of the team, and him being straightforward and honest with the team. When he doesn't like the way we practice, he's going to let us know. He's going to be straightforward with that. I mean, shoot, we didn't have the best practice yesterday. He called me right after practice saying, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. And just having that relationship with the head coach like that, and just talking to him each and every day, you can tell he's very passionate about the game. He's a great leader of men. He played in the league, so he knows where we're coming from and stuff like that. So, you can't help but to, like him more and more. Just the more you get to know him each and every day. So he's great. And, of course, it's great having your head coach behind you, having that much belief in me. Definitely gives me more confidence. And I know he believes in this team a lot, and he believes in our players. So just that belief, I think it feeds off to the players and gives, us as players more confidence to play.
Justin.
I like it. The head coach and quarterback relationship is a very important one. And ultimately, when you look at Justin Fields, I don't know if he's ever had this kind of belief in him the last couple of years, right? I mean, last year the plug was pulled on him when the team was 4-2. He was the backup just trying to hold it down for Russell Wilson. They're all in on Fields. Glenn and I think Engstrand really do believe they have their guy. And we'll find out if they're right. I think the biggest thing is the Jets looked at Justin Fields as clearly the best option when you compare him to any other free agent quarterback and any option in the draft. Besides probably Cam Ward, who we know they tried to trade up for, and Tennessee wasn't going to do it. So they're all in on Fields for this year. They believe that he could be their guy. And Fields believes he's in a good place to be able to do it. I mean, he's got an offensive coordinator who's tailoring the offense to him. He's got an offensive line that should be the best O-line he's ever played with. He's got a running back room that is super talented. Might be the best room he's ever had at that position. He's got his old college wide receiver who happens to be one of the better receivers in the league in Garrett Wilson. Like, there's pieces for Fields to have success. We have questions about the secondary weapons. We have questions about the tight end spot, but we like Mason Taylor, and we know Fields is going to target Taylor a lot. And that's his history. We think the defense should be improved. So if you provide Fields with a decent defense and the Jets are able to run the ball, in Jet history, the last time this team was any good, that's how they were winning games. Ground and pound, running the ball, defense. That was the key. So I think there's a lot to like with the idea of Fields being solid. But what does that mean as far as stat-wise? How does he play? How many wins does it lead to? There's so many unknown questions. The coaching is great. The Jets could be in position where it's a relevant year. That's the biggest unknown. But at least there's clear symmetry between the front office and the coach, and clear symmetry between the quarterback and the coach, because that's important if you want to have any chance of this season not being a bleep show for once. Wouldn't that be nice? One more from Fields. I love this. Fields asked what he's working to improve on.
And kind of what I want to work on is, getting hype. I think today out of practice, I was pretty energetic out there. And I think, the guys feed off of me. So just seeing that kind of out there today, I think I'm going to try to be more vocal with the guys. But usually I'm pretty even keeled. I don't really get too high or too low. But I think this year I'm going to try to turn it up a notch and really just try to bring that energy each and every day on the practice field and, of course, in the games too.
Love that. That's growth right there. So time will tell on what this team is, but I think if you're a Jet fan, you should be rooting for Justin Fields. Of anyone they could have signed, he was honestly the only one they could have signed that you look at and go, Sam Darnold just did what he did. We just watched Baker Mayfield the last 2 years do what he's done. Fields, 26 years old. Super talented. There's a path to him breaking out with the Jets. And that would defy all Jet stereotypes if the New York Jets are an organization that could go out there and develop a quarterback who failed in 2 other places on his 3rd team in 3 years, and he comes to the Jets and has a breakout year. Man, wouldn't that be something? I'd be so excited I wouldn't know what to do. My goodness. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. You guys want something fun? How about at the end of the show, we give away a signed C.J. Mosley jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, if you caught the show the other day, 6 rings won the jersey you see on the screen. A scummy Pats fan. And you don't even want to know what I've been dealing with behind the scenes to get the rights back to this jersey. But I've been able to secure the C.J. Mosley jersey once again, and I will give it away at the end of the show. Now, it's costing me a lot to do this. I got to send this bloody Pats fan a different Patriots-related item. And he lives in Canada. So not only is he a Pats fan, but he's a bandwagon Pats fan, and I'm now responsible for shipping to Canada. But that's what I'm doing for all of you. So I'm hoping a real Jet fan can win this jersey instead. So at the end of the show, we'll do a daily raffle. You got to gift the membership to be entered. And if you're tuning in late, it is +2 on all gifted memberships. Raffle's going to be on Monday. Clyde Frazier jersey, name it jersey, and another CJ jersey. But this jersey here is the jersey that was supposed to be won by a Pats fan that I had negotiated back to be able to give it away to a true Jet fan instead. So gift away to be entered, and you got a chance to win a signed CJ Mosley jersey. Nick Shine writes in, sent you a Venmo for 5 memberships. Raffle me up. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine did, in fact, send in the 5 memberships. So, Nick Shine, you are in for 5. We will certainly make a note of that. All right. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Gift away to be entered. Des Jets, who I believe joined the Patreon this morning. Shout out to you, Des Jets. Hit the like button. Amen. Hit the like button if you haven't. The first person in the raffle is Party with Peg and Artie. Normally 5 memberships gifted is 5 raffle entries. For today, it is 7 +2 on all gifted memberships. Here we go, folks. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All right, if you hear your name, you thank Party with Peg and Artie. Addy NY, Ernest Duncan, Pete's Take, C-Mac, Paul Haupt, all receiving channel memberships. Nick Shine sent me 5 memberships, so I will gift those coming up, and if you get them, you'll be entered in the raffle courtesy of Nick. Let's hit on the Knicks before we get to some calls. Got a huge, monumental Game 6 tonight. I do laugh, though, when I hear everyone say it's the biggest game the Knicks have played in this quarter century. Every game they play from this point forward is the biggest game they have played in this quarter century. They haven't been in the conference finals in 25 years. Do the math. Every game from like the Celtics Game 4 was the biggest game that the Knicks have played in this quarter century. If the Knicks are going to win tonight, their best players need to be their best players. When you go on the road, your best players need to be your best players. The Knicks have a win in Indiana already this series. Why? Karl Anthony Towns went into God mode with Brunson in foul trouble and won them that game with 20 in the fourth quarter. Towns cannot get into foul trouble tonight. Brunson cannot get into foul trouble tonight. The Knicks need to come out with an intensity that is equivalent to what we saw in Game 5 at the Garden the other night. You are going to get Indiana's best from the jump. They do not want anything to do with having to get back on a plane and go to the Garden. They played in Game 5 like a team that knew we'd like to win, but we know we got a chance to do it in our own building anyway. It's human nature. We saw the Knicks experience the same thing when they played the Celtics without Tatum and lost by 20 points in Game 5 in Boston. And then the Knicks came out on fire, ready to roll, and took it to Boston in that Game 6. That can't happen tonight if you're the Knicks. You got to be ready to play at the jump. The energy level, The intensity level needs to be there. You got to survive the initial 8 minutes of this game because there could be an avalanche coming. You got to be in it after that initial surge from Indiana comes. Because I think they are going to be all out and aggressive early in this game. Carlisle's going to ream them for how they played in Game 5. So the Knicks need to be prepared for that. They need to come out and they need to be, from the jump, prepared for that onslaught. Survive that early and give yourself a chance. I'd like to see Landry Shamet continue to get significant minutes off the bench. His defense, watching back the game, was so notable, so significant. His defense made a huge, huge difference in that game. It was nice to finally see someone not let TJ McConnell just dribble around like a pinball machine, do in the paint and actually, I don't know, force a turnover, get in his face. I would like to see an aggressive mentality from Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Deuce McBride, especially when you see them going up against Tyrese Halliburton, who you figure is going to be way more aggressive tonight than he was in that Game 5, where it just looked like he was passive. I want to see a defensive intensity from the start of this game. Bridges, 100% aggressiveness, following Halliburton the full length of the court. Follow him 94 feet. Empty the tank. And when he's out of gas, that's when you bring in Shamet. That's when you bring on DeLon Wright. That's when you let Deuce do it. Thibodeau's playing 9 guys now, double-digit minutes. They need to make Halliburton's life hell. He's the head of the snake. It's no coincidence. He barely shoots. He has an off night, whatever happened in Game 5, and they get blown out. And the Knicks play their most complete game. He is the head of the snake. Slow him down, and you got a chance to steal this tonight. See, here's the thing. 3-1 is really hard. But it's not 3-1 anymore. It's 3-2. And Game 7 is in your building. And you've already won in Indiana earlier this postseason, or earlier in this round. It's not like you're going into Chicago to play the Jordan Bulls for a chance to get it to a Game 7. These two teams are evenly matched. Look at the point differential in this series. It's almost even. The Knicks blew Game 1 in historic fashion. It could be 3-2 Knicks right now looking for the closeout. So, while it's not going to be easy tonight, it's not a Herculean task for the Knicks to win this game. It's probably going to be incredibly stressful. Hair is going to fall out off all our heads. We're going to be sweating. It's going to be nerve-wracking. That's typically how these Knicks games have been. That's why it actually was surprising that not that necessarily the Knicks won a home game in Game 5, but the way they did. So this is not going to be easy. But can the Knicks win tonight? Absolutely. You're the best player on the court. I don't think for a second Jalen Brunson doesn't remember the last time the Knicks were in this spot, right? 3-1 down against Miami, win Game 5, come out in Game 6, lose a really, really close game where Brunson was incredible until the last play. He had a turnover with the Knicks having a chance to take the lead with barely any time left. And Brunson has talked about how that moment still sticks out with him. As any great player, the losing hurts more than how great the winning feels. But this is a Jalen Brunson game if I've ever seen one. The only way it's not is if he's in foul trouble. And Cat needs to be right there as well. That aggressive mentality that he plays with when the Knicks win, that's what they need early in this game. Because I'm telling you, Indiana is going to come out and you are going to be dealing with an absolute gauntlet at the beginning of this game. Gauntlet. Get it to the Garden. That's the goal. I don't care if the Knicks haven't played great at MSG. Last I checked, in their last game at MSG, they're undefeated. Get it there. Take your chance. Be smart and be ready to play, because that's the biggest thing. I'm telling you, we're going to get a pretty good idea what type of game this is going to be from Indiana if they come out and they get up 10 digits or 10, if they go up 10 points early on in this game. Now, this can't be another, Knicks are trying to come back down 20 again. No, don't let it get to that. You're not going to be able to do it tonight. Indiana knew human nature. They had a game to lose. They lost that game. You're going to get a much better effort tonight at home. Got to be ready. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. If you're tuning in late, we opened the show talking about the comments made by Justin Fields, so rewind if you missed that. At the end of the show, I'm giving away a signed C.J. Mosley jersey. You don't want to know what I had to do to get this? But I was able to make a deal with a scummy Patriots fan. Peg McGuire in the raffle for 7 with a $25 super chat. Let's go, baby. Boom.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
We like you, Alan, but F you, go Knicks. The only thing incorrect there is you saying you like Alan, but I will play this regardless.
Alan, go fuck yourself.
Anyway, Peg and Artie are in our raffle for $25. Also, either Nick Shine or Connor Long. I dislike both of you. You turned off the auto star super chat setting in StreamYard. So now I don't know who did what in the chat. Mimosa gifted 5, but I know she gifted more than that. 5, 10. Oh my goodness. 15. Someone check me in the chat because these weren't saved on the StreamYard end. Is there another 5 from Mimosa anywhere? Is it 15 or 20 that Mimosa gifted? Either way, we will get the answer to that. Mimosa, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything she gifted is +2. So I need to do some math here, but first I know what I need to play. Where is it? There it is.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Gentlemen, the great Mimosa. Don't know how many she gifted. Someone help me out. But she is in our raffle, both daily and weekly, for an enormous amount of memberships. We'll figure that out shortly. Hard to host and count. C with a super chat. In the raffle for 4, it's +2 on all memberships / super chats for entries. Brunson legacy game incoming. He could play great and they still could lose. They need his co-star, Karl Anthony Towns, to be there. And I'm telling you, the defensive intensity on Halliburton needs to be there from the start. Cut off the head of the snake. Give Mikal Bridges the assignment. Say, I'm not worried about you scoring tonight. Guard Halliburton for 94 feet. Then bring in Landry Shamet, ask him to do the same thing. Then use Deuce and DeLon Wright off the bench as well. Make it hell for Halliburton. Boomtown telling me Mimosa gifted 15 total memberships. So it is +2 on each of those. That means 21 raffle entries for the great Mimosa. Thank you very much, Mimosa. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. I should be able to see all super chats now. I turned the right setting on. Comment from the Kyle Clifton, who says, I hope Fields can establish himself as the long-term starter in the league. Tools are there. Good kid. He's a likable guy. He is. Seems like he works hard. Seems like teammates like him. That is the key. But it's got to come together now. I think he has the talent to do it. No one's ever disputed that. I think it's all between the ears with Fields. And I also just think, like, sometimes you're in the right place, right time. And if you want to be optimistic, right, Fields is 8-4 as a starter over his last 12 games. Statistically, he's improved as a player. Yeah, I have the numbers here. Fields over his last 12 starts. Now, 6 of them were last year with the Steelers and the final 6 games with the Bears in 2023. In those 12 starts, he was 8-4, 17 passing / rushing touchdowns, and only 7 turnovers. Before that, he was 6-26 with 46 and 35 in the touchdown to turnover category. Total touchdown, total turnover. So he's improved in his most recent opportunities to play. Now he's being given the keys the entire time. So can he go out there and prove that those 12 games are more of an accurate depiction on what he is, and even tap into a level that is better than those numbers? Because realistically, right, those numbers are not bad, but I don't know if he just like projects out what those numbers are. That's good enough for the Jets to feel like they have their quarterback and they're a playoff team. That's the question. Big fella says Shamet needs to play McConnell whenever he's in. Rewatching that game, Landry Shamet was so good defensively, man. He really was. He did something that no Nick had done all series. Fight over a screen. Wasn't that nice to see? Thunderlips writes in, I need Gary to predict a blowout win for the Knicks. He was right the last 2 times he made that prediction. Gary, are you there? Gary. DJ Dirty, Shamet brought the moxie we lost in Randall. I find it funny that some Knicks fans are like reimagining what Julius Randle was with the Knicks. He was a really good Knick, but you all couldn't wait to get rid of him. Landry Shamet should continue to get opportunities, though. He's a really good defensive player. So is DeLon Wright. And at times, I think if you're going to try and slow down the Pacers, the best way to do that is to make shots, because then they can't get out in transition as easily and score buckets. The second best way to do that is to have a defensive lineup out there where Towns is the only offensive player you're going to rely on. And then you go Deuce, then you go Wright, then you go Shamet, and then one of Bridges or OG is also likely out there too in that scenario. And just give a different look. Try and slow down Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent is in our daily raffle. He's also in the weekly raffle. This is the last show to enter. I'm doing 4 hours of radio on Sirius, so in all likelihood, unless there's breaking Jets news, there will not be a show tomorrow. So Rick Kent, gifting 10. Today it's +2. It's 12. Give it up for the Rick Kent. Yeah, baby.
You get the fuck out.
Thank you, Aaron Glenn. All right, 10 spot from Rick. Here's who got the memberships. Jamie Gill, First Class Agency, Gilbert Gonzalez, Lenny Malice, Jets Crazy, Paul the Nick Fan Ellis, Scott Foster, Brian J, Cranky Yankee 83, all receiving channel memberships from the Rick Kent. All right, time to take your calls. Load them up. Link is pinned. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Today's show is brought to you by Bobby and Charles Nipples.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
Yeah. You know what's better than that? The only song I can think of that can match that greatness. It's Kyle Clifton time.
Tonight is going to be epic.
He's outside. Kyle Clifton.
G. Yes, I decided to go outside today. Mix it up for the people.
Love it.
Disappointing that the local establishment is going to be closed for a private party tonight. I was just bumped into one of my friends that when I was out for a morning walk, and he told me that they're closing for a private party. We probably have a pretty good crowd for the Knick game. It's going to be an epic night. Anytime you're going to that environment in Indiana with the series on the line, 2 evenly matched teams, so much history, there's animosity here. There's a tremendous opportunity here for the Knicks to throw this whole choke thing back in their face.
Yep. And that will live on in infamy if they pull this off. And Halliburton did that after game 1.
Right. This will redeem John Starks. This will redeem a whole other generation of Knick fans if they can go in and pull this off in game 6 and game 7. So that's got to be the goal. Luckily, we have Jalen Brunson.
Thank God.
He's the difference maker on either of the two teams. There is no one quite as clutch and special as Jalen Brunson. And I'm sorry to tell the Indiana Pacer fans. That said, I think that Cat, when he's at his best, can be the Robin, right? And we've seen it a lot in the series. He does some stuff that makes you crazy fouls and stuff. But this is such an opportunity for the Knicks to get to the next round and try and see if their brand of physicality can play against the Thunder. This is the opportunity. You might not get the chance again next year. After next year, your window will be closed. Take the bull by the horns. That's kind of how I see it.
You just never know, right? I mean, like this
Yeah.
team in theory is young and they're under contract, but like things change so quickly in the NBA. And like look at Boston; they're going to be good every year. They have Tatum and Brown together. Well, now Tatum's coming off an Achilles and he's not going to be around next year, so they're basically having a year where they're not a content. Like you just never know. Like there's such an opportunity here. These two teams are so even. I still maintain the Knicks have the best player on the court, and go out and take it tonight. This is not normally you're down 3-1 and you're the team that wins the game 5 at home. You're not surprised. All right, they're losing 6. But that's if there was a huge disparity in the talent on the floor. These two teams are so evenly matched. The Knicks blew game 1. It could be 3-2 Knicks very easily right now. They're very evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, I feel like next year is their window because I don't know what Jalen Brunson looks like in year 5? It would be year 5 or year 6 of his Knicks contract at that point. Like it's like the way he plays, he takes a beating. So it's like seize the opportunity right now. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, just not even just him, but like, Karl Anthony Towns is the guy that's had injury issues. OG's had injury problems. They've been pretty healthy for most of this year. I know Brunson had the ankle injury against the Lakers where he missed a significant time, but ultimately, like the Knicks have that starting 5 they put together. That was the goal. They're all healthy right now, and there's an opportunity to go and take it against a team that you match up right there with. Like there's no clear, this team's so much better. It's going to take, a miracle to win. Like you could go win a game in a place you already won a game at this series.
As far as the Jets go, good vibes are riding high. Dakota was wilding in the chat before with his optimism. Dakota.
Oh, I'm getting texts from Peter Castro today about Fields, and he's the greatest thing ever. I mean, there's some real Fields truthers out there. It's good to see.
No, I mean it's good to have the optimism. We have to see it, right? We've been hurt before, but I mean there is reason for that optimism. There's reason, like we all understand the physical traits that Arian Smith and Fields and the size of Mason Taylor and stuff, and how an overhaul of some of the personnel that was here in the past and the coaching could possibly impact this team. We all get it, but we got to see it a little bit, and we got to. And if everyone seems to be buying in, that's all the better. The one thing I'm gonna say, Jake, is I think you underestimate the curiosity of your fan base and about what went into this deal with the Canadian Pats fan.
Oh my God! Well, I'm waiting to see what it's going to end up being finalized. But I have presented like 8 different options to this Canadian Pats fan, and he wants this. Then he changes his mind. Then he's like, actually, just get whatever you want. I appreciate it. And then he goes, well, actually, what about this? And I'm like, stop emailing me 15 times over a jersey that you have no business winning in the first place. But I'm a man of my word. So I'm entertaining his emails right now. But I even had to ask Boomtown, because he's the only Canadian that watches the show regularly that we truly love. I mean, there's probably more. That's not true. But anyway, Boomtown is one of the great Canadians ever. I don't know how to ship to Canada. Like this guy sent me his address, and like I don't know what to enter when it's asking for like the Canadian address layout. So I needed Boom to help me with that one. I don't know. He's on my nerves, but the things you do for this community, it's all worth it.
So I was hopeful there because it seemed like he was a new and unsure of himself fan that we might be able to turn him and educate him in our tradition. But now it seems like it might be more trouble than it's worth.
It's a lot of work. He's like, you could just send me the jersey if you want. I go, no. I don't want a CJ Mosley jersey going to a scummy Pats fan. So I'm trying to work on something that can make him happy. But we'll make it work.
You might want to include something about, you can only watch the show if you're gonna be respectful.
Well, the thought someone suggested, hey, you have him wear the Mosley jersey every time he calls in. But I think there's still a lot of people who just wouldn't like the idea of a Pats fan wearing any Jet gear,
Right. And I think that would probably kind of degrade the contribution of CJ Mosley. I think he's been a great Jet.
Oh, and by the way, here's another thing I suggested because I see Cactus Johnny wrote this. How about no, not this one. It was Jojo wrote, send him the money back. I offered to refund him. No PayPal, no Venmo, no Cash App, no forms of being able to send him currency. So I'm also dealing with a guy who is technologically illiterate, it appears.
It seems like a rough stretch there. But I appreciate your time, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, today he was outside, the great Kyle Clifton. But don't worry, Six Rings and I will come to terms on something. You know, I looked up like autographed Pats items, but there's so much more money than what I paid for the CJ jersey. So, and then I got to ship to Canada too. So that's another part of this. But don't worry. I was able to reacquire the CJ jersey. So this right here at the end of the show, I'm giving away to someone. Then on Monday, I'm giving away another CJ Mosley jersey. It comes with a certificate of authentication as well. And I'll send you some Asmaniac swag with the package. So if you're tuning in late, that's what we're giving away at the end of the show. Here's a better screen grab of it. Tyrone's in the house. Go Knicks, go Jets. Tyrone, +2 on memberships. Your $10 super chat is worth 4 raffle entries today. Thank you very much.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Dominic says, what's up, chat, on the gifted at the start of the show? Dominic, I did see you gifted a membership. That was before I had the setting of super chats being saved for me to view or gifted membership. So I got you down for 3 because you gifted 1 membership. Rick Kent wants to know what time's the Knicks game. 8 Eastern. If the Knicks win, Game 7 will be Monday at 8 Eastern. And I'm doing everything in my power to be there. Let's see. Dave Briggs says, Patriot 12 is not the sharpest tool in the shed. He is not. Ian says, before you give the Pats fan the jersey, let Beastbreaker, Gorman, and Bobby rub the jersey on there. All right, thank you, Ian. One of the things I suggested was a signed James White photo of him scoring the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl that capped the 28-3 comeback. And he's like, no, I just prefer the jersey if you don't mind. I go, I don't think you understand. The 8x10 photo, like, that's in the price range of what a CJ Mosley jersey is. Like, you prefer the jersey. So I got to get you a signed Julian Edelman jersey? That's a little more than the CJ Mosley jersey. I'm like, you won this raffle. I offered you a refund, and I said I'll send you some Asmaniac merch as a make good if you want to ingratiate yourself to the community, right? I'll send you a hat that says Jake Asman Show, so it's not like it's a Jet logo, like the Asmaniac logo is similar to the Jet logo. You know, like I tried to suggest some things that I think were fair. But it's ridiculous. Beastbreaker's on the line, but I'd imagine his internet is going to be terrible because it doesn't look like he's in the attic. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out together. Beast?
Yeah.
Are you in the attic?
Yeah, it's got it right now.
Where are you? Oh, you're in the attic.
Right now,
Go.
breathing.
Switch to your
breathing there right
computer,
now.
Beast. Switch
That's
to your
what I'm doing.
computer. Why are you out of breath? I have many questions. We'll check in with Beast momentarily. In the meantime, we got some heavy hitters still on the line. Open phone lines if you want in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see. But if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David T.
Hey, I don't understand what this Patriots fan guy stands to gain other than antagonize the heck out of us.
How did he win the raffles? What I want to know. Like, you can't script this stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I remember you talking about it, that he was in on the raffle and everything, and I'm like, yeah, odds are he's not gonna win it, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, if he thinks he's gonna be a star caller on the Jake Asman show, I certainly hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
Yeah, and as far as the Knicks go, I believe I really, as a matter of fact, I like your attire. The black sweatshirt could be a message. You know, they mean business. I know they can win tonight.
You like my headband, David T? Do I look like I'm ready to check into the game later?
I love your headband. I think that is so cool. Yeah, when we were, back in the 70s, we were on the playground, we had headbands and wristbands and that was popular for being on the court, you know. But I love the
Were
headband.
you a headband guy, David?
I actually wasn't. I wore the wristbands. I didn't wear the headband, but some of my buddies, neighborhood buddies did. But no, just I did do the wristband thing though. That was, wipe the sweat off the brow after I hit myself a shot, But so anyway, I'd like to say I got a feeling they're going to win, but it's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm looking for you to attend the next game in New York.
My plan is to be there, David T. But here's the thing: the Knicks need to make that game a reality by winning tonight first.
Yes, good point. Make it a reality. I mean, I'm not saying they're capable of coming in and taking no prisoners, obviously, because Indiana's so good a team. But maybe coaching might come into play tonight. Tibbs might have maybe a little different strategy, and it's fun to think about. But they're going to mean business, and as Richie Kotite used to say, they're not going to leave it in the locker room.
Did you quote Rich Kotite?
I did. He used to say,
that's probably not what the Knicks fan wants to hear before the biggest game in 25 years.
Well, no, I actually, because Rich Kotite was actually assistant coach with the Eagles for a lot of years, and he's a very good, coach and everything, but just not a head coach. But yes, that he used to say. The two things he used to say after a loss, of course, was, "We gave them their money's worth, and we didn't leave it in the locker room." Those are two famous quotes.
Yeah, his other famous quote was, "I suck at my job."
Yeah. But I always look at it like the positive. It led into us getting Bill Parcells. So.
Well, the only positive thing Rich Kotite was responsible for is Wayne Corbett. He's the only good thing that came from the Kotite era.
Oh my God! Yes, Wayne Corbett. Yeah, I know. I do have a Wayne Corbett jersey in my closet from many years ago. But what was I going to say? And I remember the famous Keyshawn Johnson would say Wayne Corbett shouldn't even be on the team.
Now, David, there's a comment I have to read to you. I think you're the nicest guy that watches this show. You're a good man, a good human, and everyone out there should be absolutely offended, livid, angry over what this comment is. So, David, I'm going to read it to you. Alan says, David T brings nothing but failure to the Jets and Knicks. Nice eye finishes last. Would you like to respond to this a-hole?
Well, I'm not a believer that nice eye or nice guys finish last. I think all everything in life evens out. And I know I'm not as knowledgeable as most Jets fans, and but I get all my information by listening to you experts and enjoying your show and everything. But no, Alan. Hey, that's fine. Alan has his own style, and
his own style is just being an a-hole to people.
Right, but it makes for good podcast, doesn't it?
Damn it, David, you're too nice. You're too nice. This was the one time I thought you might say, Alan, he's a bum, and we didn't even get that.
Well, he is a bum.
There we go. There we go.
But I'm not gonna, if my mother used to always say, if you're not going to say something, nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. But in this case, I will say, Alan, you're a bum.
There it is. Now, David, I'll tell you what. I've been sitting on this for a couple of days now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to debut a new song on this show. A song that was submitted by listener Daz out in the UK. Here is the debut of the song Alan, Mrs. Drake May.
Alan shows up wearing green and white, says JETS, but something ain't right. He cheers when we punt, he cries when we score, then whispers go past behind closed doors. Closet Pat fan, yeah, we're all aware. Says he's from Queens, he's never been there. You say, I bleed green, but there ain't no way. Fingering himself to Drake freaking May. Behind your glasses, your eyes don't lie. You cried when Belichick said goodbye. You ain't fooling no one with your bullshit work. A troll in a basement who's a grade A jerk. So own it, Alan, you're a patriot clown. A Drake May stand from a Jets cursed town. The bullshit takes that as maniacs hate. Alan the rat, aka hashtag Mrs. Drake May.
Bum.
You get the fuck out.
See ya, Alan. How do you go after David T? Unreal. The Drake May inspired song came after Alan said that I love Drake May. Kid's going to be a stud. Douche. But look, folks, anyone who will say this publicly in a Jet YouTube comment section that he pleasures himself with a finger. I mean, come on now. Anyway, more of your calls, shall we? The Honorable Barbarossa's on the line. What's up, Barbarossa?
What's up, ASMANIACS? What's up, Jake? I hope you had a good day off, man. I called in to just to say what up, but I honestly can't fathom how Alan could have said that about David T. Alan, you're a fucking bum, dude. You really are. You're just an absolute bum. Absolute bum. You watch a show that you don't enjoy. You love to just torture yourself, and there's something wrong with you. David T is the nicest person on this channel. Alan, you're just an absolute bum. Absolute bum.
Alan.
Yeah. I got it. Fuck you, Alan. Fuck you. Take care, Jake. Love you guys. Peace out. Fuck you, Alan.
The great Barbarossa. Well said. Purple Belt Mike is up next. Mike, how are we doing?
Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks.
Mike, can we talk about the gift that you sent to Charles Gorman?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, why don't you share what you sent?
So I sent him 3 things. The third thing is shampoo, which he's getting today. But I got him some fruit snacks because, you got to have some fruit snacks. And I got him Batman body and face wash. It's the same thing from Old Spice that I use. He was so happy. He sent me a picture. See that right there?
He just sent me this yesterday. I go, oh my God, this man is 30 years old, living on his own.
I have the same thing though. Hold on, let me get it. Yeah, that's what I use. It's awesome.
Your wife likes how you smell. She approves.
She approves. She does. She likes it.
Do you smell like a superhero?
Smell like Batman, baby. No other way to do it. Yeah. I wasn't lying when I said it's the same one that I have.
I love that.
So, yeah. So, I know how the Knicks are going to win tonight. So, last night I had a dream. We're down 1 point, and there's 3 seconds left. OG hits a corner 3, and we win by 2. 119-117 Knicks.
Sign me up. Look, I don't care how they do it. They got to do it. Tonight, I think, is going to be what I'm fully preparing for an excruciatingly painful game, win or lose. Like, it's going to be incredibly stressful. There's no way it's not. Like, we know how the DNA of this Knicks team, it's not going to be, this is going to be the hardest game they're going to have to try and win all year. If they win this,
I agree.
I think they win in 7. I just think you're going to get everything from Indiana tonight. They want nothing. I don't care if they've been better on the road than they have been at home. They want nothing to do with a game 7 at the Garden.
100%. It's going to be balls to the wall. I'm hoping that, Siakam and Naismith and all these idiots have bad nights again, and Halliburton. Hopefully Bridges can lock down Halliburton again.
Yeah,
See a
I think
victory,
it's
man. We
him,
know.
it's Shamit. I think they need to what I liked about Game 5. They challenged Halliburton a lot more. I don't know why they didn't do it at all in Game 4. Like make it difficult for him to bring the ball up the court. Like the Pacers have done that with Brunson a lot. Like everything has been hard for Brunson. He's still great and he's still able to get a shot off and do what he does. But Halliburton is not the level of offensive player that Brunson is, and he's the head of the snake. So make it really, really hard for him from the jump. Guard him 94 feet. Tell Bridges your job tonight's not to score. Your job is to exert all your energy on defense and try and slow this guy down.
And people want to talk about Tibbs and all this stuff. You got to give Tibbs credit for going to the bench that hasn't been used all year, and we're having success late. Like Tibbs deserves his credit. Tibbs does not deserve the hate. He deserves the credit.
Well,
And he's gonna
anytime they
be a
lose,
big part of it.
yeah, anytime they lose, everyone wants to blame the coach. It's like, can we hold the players accountable? That's my big thing. I'm not saying Tom
Yeah.
Thibodeau is the greatest coach ever, but the idea of firing the guy who has this team in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years and took over a franchise that was at the basement of sports and has been in the playoffs for the last 5 years, has won a playoff round 3 years in a row. Like to me, it's just crazy. So I'm with you. I think he is a really, really good coach, the best they've had since Van Gundy. But if they lose tonight, it's going to be fire the coach. You know, they can't win with him. Oh, he doesn't know how to use the rotations. It's like you need the players to play. Like the Knicks need their best players to be their best players. Like Tom Thibodeau can't prevent Karl Anthony Towns from picking up idiotic fouls. Like that's not on the coach. The player needs to play. That's what it comes down to.
If OG, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges combine for like 10 for 38 again, like Game 3 or whatever that was, then you're not going to win.
Right.
You can't win like that. You're not going to be able to win. So the players have to sink their buckets too. You know, Tibbs can only do so much. And people forget, you know, the Derek Fishers of the world and Phil Jackson. Like people forget how hard it was and bad it was. People really forget. So
The Jeff
we need to enjoy
Hornacek.
this, and we need to win. What's that?
Did Jeff Hornacek. I'm just thinking of all the
yeah.
bad coaches since like the 54 win season with Mike Woodson. Like just
But Mike Woodson was okay.
He was
wasn't
good.
the worst.
He was good.
Okay.
But like since Van Gundy, they've had awful coaches. Awful.
Yeah.
And Thibodeau is a really, really good coach with a proven track record.
Yeah, I agree. So, you know, let's all channel our energy like it's Goku with the spirit bomb and just fucking send it to Indianapolis. You know, Brunson, send us our energy. Boom.
That is a tremendous reference. All right. I
Hell
need
yeah.
Jalen Brunson to go Super Saiyan 3 tonight. All right.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Super Saiyan God in Knicks colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great PBM who sent Charles Gorman shampoo to smell like Batman.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh shit, you're not kidding.
Unbelievable. I still can't get over this week from the Memorial Day show with Gorman and the Machete to Beast and Beasley. Best listeners, man. Thanks again to Nick and Connor who hosted yesterday. Also, could we give Connor Long some credit? He didn't tell me he was booking Jeremy Fowler on the show, and Fowler gave him real news. Fowler was the first to report, and he said it on this show without me even being here. He says it to a kid in 8th grade that the Jets have made at least initial contract offers, Fowler believes, to both Sauce and Garrett. That's legitimate news that if you type in Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson on Google, you'll see a bunch of articles that covered it. And I don't think, the funniest thing is, I don't think Connor realized he got that big news at the time. He just asked another question. So then Gator at the end super chatted asking for more context on it, which was a good job by Gator. Because I was unavailable to do the show yesterday. That's why we had guest host. So I texted Gator. I go, that's real news right there. So then Gator asked the follow-up on the super chat. But great job by Connor hosting the whole show. And then I isolated the Fowler interview on the channel as well. So we got some real news there. Now, I don't know if the initial offer is going to be, they're definitely going to get both signed. But it at least shows you the Jets are willing to have talks with both guys. Get a deal done with both of them. So shout out to Connor Long. Did the show from his classroom yesterday after school, by the way. He had a green screen up to use, to have like this logo in the back, but he did it from his classroom. And then on the first show, Nick did a great job. Bonesy basically co-hosted, which was great. I love it. Couple super chats to get caught up on, then right back to your calls. Reminder, at the end of the show, I'm giving away a signed CJ Mosley jersey. And on Monday, I'm giving away a signed CJ Mosley jersey and a signed Joe Namath jersey. And our top prize, hopefully there's a game 7 that night, signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. Pretty cool. Des Jet with a super chat. See you in Tampa, Jakey. Let's hit the roulette tables. Des, I'm excited for you to be there. For those of you who missed the announcement, I think there might be some group tickets left. I don't know. They're not my group tickets. They're the Tampa Jet fan group, but they allowed me to share it with my listeners. If you want to sit with Jet fans at the cheapest possible prices, Dave Briga bought a ticket. All right. You want to sit with One Punch Briga in Tampa? Go on my Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show, and you could join the Discord, or on Patreon, you'll see the link to buy group tickets. I'm hoping by early this week, I can announce the hotel discount rate I'm going to provide for those who are looking for hotel rooms. It is at a prominent hotel in downtown Tampa, 4-star hotel with great reviews, 8 minutes from the stadium, super close to the airport. So a bunch of you could stay there and be in the same spot if you need a discounted room rate. And it will be first come, first serve for Patreon folks first, and then whatever left, then we open it up for everyone else. But if you want to join the Patreon, now's the time. It's only $5 a month. It's even cheaper if you sign up for the year. Sign up for the year, you get 10 raffle entries. Your name's added to the countdown ticker, which, by the way, we update that at the beginning of each month. So join today if you want your name added. And then get in the Discord where you find out info about meetups, find out info about when the show's going to start every day, breaking news, whole lot more. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Super chat from Kyle Clifton. He's in the raffle for 4 because it's +2 on memberships and super chats. Either return 6 rings to Jets fandom like a vampire pouncing on an unsuspecting villager, or we show him the door. We've usually welcomed other fans, but disrespectful AFC East rivals who don't know their team is a bridge too far. It's tough to argue with that, Kyle. Now, this channel does like villains from time to time, but it's tough to argue with that take. Ladies and gentlemen, Rat Diddy bought tickets to Tampa. Him and Gator are going to be sitting together. Let's go, Rat. Let's go, Knicks. Rat is in our raffle for 4. Bing bong, Rat. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Shout out to the great Rat Diddy, one of the all-time greats. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to a guy who needs no introduction around these parts. Whether you love him or hate him, you stop and you listen to what he's saying.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich. I got a lot today. I got a lot on my mind. First, this 6 rings guy. If I won a Patriots jersey, I would just say no thank you. Like if I want a Yankees jersey or a Cowboys jersey, if you truly hate that team, I don't even want it. Like, don't send it to me. Unless he was planning on doing something like burning it on air on a Patriot show or something. I don't know. But like, if I want a Patriots jersey, I would be like, yeah, no thanks. You can recirculate that.
It's just bizarre fan behavior.
Would you want a Patriot? If I sent you a Brady jersey or a Rodney Harrison jersey or a Ty Law jersey, would you even want it?
No.
I don't even want that.
No, I've won jerseys for other teams before and stuff, and I've either given them away to my friends who I know are fans of them, or I've tried to like trade it for something else. Like I'm trying to think of an example of this because it definitely happened somewhat recently. I won a signed Pete Alonso jersey at a charity event last year, and I basically like sold it at a cheaper discount to my friend who's a diehard Met fan or whatever. I was like, hey, I don't want this. I'll just give it to you. Let me just get my money back. I paid to enter it.
I don't even want the jersey of a team. Like, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. I love Kobe. He's my favorite basketball player ever. I wouldn't wear a Lakers jersey. Like, I love Kobe, but I'm not going to wear another team's jersey. It's just weird to me. Like, I'm like, especially a team, my sworn enemy. Like, I wouldn't wear a jersey of a player that I liked, much less a jersey of a player that I can't stand. It's all right. He was a weird guy anyway. I mean, I don't think he's a bad human being, but he was a little different, to say the least. As far as the Knicks, it was an interesting move and a good move to play Landry Shamet. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Former Brooklyn Net legend Landry Shamet. Shamit. But it worked because he fights through screens, and then the Knicks, which you don't think he does because he's like 6'4", 160 pounds. Like this guy can't be physical, but he fights through screens.
No, I watched him
really well.
I was at Game 5 and I honed in on him. Like just like his effort is just like you see it. He fights over screens. He communicates well. He didn't let TJ McConnell just bounce around on the baseline underneath through the paint. It's like hit this guy. And they finally slowed TJ McConnell down, which I didn't think was possible. He needs to play tonight. And once again, I tell Mikal Bridges, your job tonight is to guard Halliburton for 94 feet. Exert all your energy on that. We'll bring in Shamit to help you if you get tired. We'll use Deuce appropriately. We'll throw OG on at times. Like, slow him down, and I'll take my chance. I know Siakam might kill him tonight because he always does, but you got to. If you slow Halliburton down, you could win this game later.
That was kind of my thought because they started picking him up in the back court, and you never really saw that. No one else has really done that, right? Because when you do that, now you make him think, you slow it down, and now the shot clock becomes an issue. And what is the shot clock ever an issue in a Pacers game, right? But you take him out of their flow, you pick him up at 94. I mean, they weren't picking up 94, but they were picking up in the backcourt, right? You make him think, you slow the game down, and then in the half court, you just shut down the driving lanes, and now there's nowhere to go because they're not really a good half court offense, right? Like they're really not, especially at this level, right? So if you can slow them down, make them think, make the shot clock become an issue, you can. I'm not saying you're going to hold them to 84 points again, but you can see what the results are when you can execute that. But then the issue is, if you want Shamit to be on the court, who's going to come off the court? And I guess it's going to be your boy Hart, right?
Well, I think you need to be strategic with how you stagger minutes for certain guys. Like Hart's coming off the bench, I'd imagine, tonight anyway. So Hart and Shamit could be a part of the second unit together. And when Brunson's resting, that's when you're going to have Hart out there. That's when you have Shamit out there. And then Cat will be the focal point of the offense. You need him to stay out of foul trouble. Because the only time Indiana made it somewhat of a game, they cut it to 10 at one point before the Knicks went on another run, was when Cat picked up his fourth foul with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And then they did the hack of Mitch nonsense. And Tibbs knew we couldn't leave Mitch out there, so we had to bring in Achua. So you're going to need your best players to avoid being in foul trouble, point blank. Like they're not going to win if Brunson and Cat are in trouble.
Oh, those two guys are, yeah. And that's, but if Hart's on the court, and I like Hart, I like the way he plays. The Nets used to.
I think every team wants a Josh Hart. He does everything that helps you win.
The Nets had a guy a bunch of years ago, like when they were in Jersey in their first year in Brooklyn, named Crash Wallace, Gerald Wallace. I don't know if you remember him, but he played a lot in the same way. He was a 6'6" guard forward type. We hustled all over the place, could knock down some open shots, was always grabbing loose balls. He was defending the best player always. He reminds me a lot of Hart, and I love the way he plays. Every team could use that, but Hart now seems like he's afraid to shoot the ball. So when Hart's in the game, that's an easy automatic hard double on Cat. I'm going to let Hart shoot, right? Because he doesn't seem like he wants to shoot anymore. I'm not even saying he can't shoot.
Well, he was at 40% for three from the playoffs so far this year. He's actually been better in the playoffs shooting the three ball than he was in the regular season.
What's he been in this series, though?
I don't have that in front of me. The last couple of games, he hasn't shot the three ball well, though. You're right.
It seems like, I'm going to use a boxing analogy, but he seems like he doesn't want to let his hands go. Like he's afraid to let his hands go. So if I'm in there, I'm going to let him shoot. And it's automatic double on Cat if Hart's in the game. That's why I'm thinking if Shamit's going to go on, whose minutes am I going to cut? Mostly Hart's. And I don't. It's a tough decision to make because Hart is irreplaceable in what he does, right? I mean, there's no one else really. There's not too many guys in the league that give you the energy and the effort, the offensive rebounding that Hart does at that size.
Even the defensive rebounds, like he had a double-double in Game 5. Like you want him out there late in the game when rebounding is so much more important. When you finally, there's nothing more backbreaking when you're a fan, when your team plays really good defense for an entire possession, and then you don't get the defensive rebound and they get another possession. There's nothing more deflating.
And that's what the Knicks did last year so well. It's just they would shoot until they scored, and it would drain teams, and it's heartbreaking. You hold them for 23 seconds, you get them to force up a bad shot, and then Richard Robinson comes down and grabs it, and you reset, and they kick it out to DiVincenzo, and then he hits a three. And you're like, God damn! Like we just held them for 23 seconds, they get a rebound, and then they get a second offensive rebound three. It's like, what do we do? Like, and that's what made the Knicks so effective last year. I remember Van Gundy, I think it was Reggie Miller saying, when the Knicks need to get a bunch of points quickly, just put up some bad shots and get an offensive rebound and put it back in. I mean, that's what the Knicks did to you last year. It was kind of like what Texas A&M did in the tournament this year, but it's a lot to deal with, right? Because it's heartbreaking. You hold them, you do your job for 23 seconds, and then they just get an offensive rebound and put it back in.
Hey, one second. Alan says 117-104 Pacers. Talk of Tibbs' replacement after the game. Yup, let's fire the coach if they lose in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals after being there for the first time in 25 years. Alan, great point as always.
Fuck you, Alan.
I'm not trying to beat it. I don't think they're going to beat him by 13. I told you the Knicks would win by at least double figures in Game 5. I told you they'd close out Boston by 30, and they did. I don't think the Knicks are going to win today. I don't think they're going to get blown out like that. I think it'll be 111-109. I think it's going to be that kind of game. I don't think they'll get blown out, but I think the Pacers win the series today.
Look, it wouldn't surprise me, but I just think there are different types of 3-1 comebacks, right? Depending on the team you're playing, and also the context of how the series has gone. Like the fact of the matter is, we're not that far off from it being 3-2 Knicks, with the Knicks trying to close it out tonight. Like, these two teams are very evenly matched, and I think the Knicks have the best player on the floor, so you're going to have a chance in any game that you have that going into any playoff game.
Yeah, Brunson can go for 40 on every single night, right? So if he can slow the game down, the threes, you want to limit the threes, because if you're missing your threes, long shots equal long misses equal fast breaks. You get the ball, you move it out. Now you're playing in Indy's hands in a transition game. So you want to slow the game down. You want to take as many layups and shots in the paint as you can, because first, you can, with Mitchell Robinson, you could dominate the offensive glass that way. And second, you're not going to have the long misses, which are going to lead to transition points. So you want to slow the game down. And if Brunson gets the ball in the paint, I'm not comparing him to Iverson. I'm not saying he's Iverson. If he gets the ball in the paint, it's 2 points, just like Iverson. It's like, if he gets the ball in the paint, it's 2 points. He's going to have 10 pump fakes like Kobe. He's going to figure out how to get the shot off, and it always goes in with Brunson. So
he's got the best footwork of any player I've ever seen.
He does. I mean, yeah, he didn't have the speed like Iverson. That's why I wasn't comparing him. But like his footwork, if he gets the ball in the paint, it's 2 points.
He's 6'2", and he's got like feet like he's like, a big man. He just could always find a way to get a shot off. It really is amazing. I mean, there's nothing about Brunson's game makes sense when you look at his physical attributes. And that's why he's beloved, because he has truly gotten everything you could get out of his physical abilities to be this player he's become.
And then it's the clutch, right? It's 40 points, but it's 20 in the fourth quarter and 10 in the final 4 minutes. Like it is what it is. It's always that. And like the shot against Detroit, he wasn't even having a good shooting day, but you knew that ball was money as soon as before it left his hands. Like, oh, that's in, and it was. It's Brunson. Like it's money when it comes out of his hands in that spot.
100%. Now, have you thought about this comment from Alan any further? Has it altered
See, what's interesting to me, and Alan explained the comment to me, it was two Black Gypsies. So the BG isn't Boy Green. It's Black Gypsy. And Black Gypsy told him to go do that. So then Alan came back and said, I did do that. What's interesting to me, though, is if Alan can't put his face on screen because they don't want you drawing attention to yourself, and when he's working in a certain capacity for the NFL, how would they feel about that comment?
It's a great point. Do you think the NFL wants to hire employees who go on Jet YouTube chats and get to pleasuring themselves?
It's a fair question, right? Like, if they don't want you to put your face on, how would they? And he's got his name on it too, which is
right.
Yeah, I mean,
remember, Alan can't call in, folks. For those who don't know what Gary's referencing, because he's got this new big boy job with the NFL, and they don't want him to make any public appearances.
Understandable, but then, like, how would you like? This seems worse to me. I mean, I don't know, like. Would you rather, if you employed someone, would you rather them show their face on someone's YouTube show and cheer for a team, or post something like this? Just asking questions.
Fair point, Gary.
And Justin Fields, I'm getting excited for him. Like when you had Buffalo Jets fan on, and he said it's pick your mid. At that point, when I picked my mid, it was Justin Fields.
I think any logical Jet fan wanted Fields above the other options. And it's not even that I think Fields is like necessarily a great option, but he was the best of what was available, right? He's 26. He's talented. He's 8-4 in his last 12 starts. The bare minimum, like you could score anytime he has the ball in his hands because of his running ability. So it's probably going to be an entertaining watch at times, even in some games they lose, which, I mean, that's a pretty low bar. Hey, you're still gonna lose, but at least you're more watchable. That's better than some of the other stuff we watched.
And, David T mentioned Rich Kotite, and we always laugh at Rich Kotite, and we should for good reason. I'm not defending him anyway, but do you know what his record was with the Eagles when the Jets hired him?
I don't.
36-28. It wasn't all that bad that he coached the Eagles, and he won a playoff game.
Well, that's
and
like the Gase argument too, because Gase went to the playoffs with the Dolphins the first year.
And then he was 36-28 with Philly, and then 4-28 with the Jets.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved here. So we moved here, and what's that, like 95? The Cowboys are in the middle of a dynasty, one of the great dynasties in football history. I'm a Jets fan in that area, and I stayed loyal to my Jets. I want you guys to think, I could have jumped wagon and been a Cowboys fan, the biggest Cowboys fan in the world, right? Like during their dynasty, but I stayed loyal to a team that went 1-15 and 3-13.
But here's the thing, right? Like, if you're a real fan, and obviously you're a real Jets fan, like the Jets have been horrible. I moved to Houston, and the Texans were on their way to back-to-back playoff years. Like, it would have been easy for me to flip and root for a good team. But like, if you're truly a fan of your team, like you can never leave. Like they're just like the feeling of rooting for a different team. You're never going to experience the same joy you would feel if it's the team you actually root for wins. Like, that's why I never understand I used to be a fan of this team and now I root for this team. It's like, you were never that big of a fan of that first team if you were able to switch.
I tend to agree. I'm a Mets fan, a Jets fan, and Nets fan, as you guys know. I've never seen I'm not old enough to have seen my team win. Any of them. I'm 0 for 35 rooting for all my teams. Like 35 seasons I've been a fan, and they've not won a championship, any of them. I'm never going to change. Like, I'm married to this team. Like, this is what I have. Hopefully they stop sucking at some point. That's all I got. Yeah. I'm not going to go root for some other team because my team suck.
I mean, at least you had the Longhorns. And the Mets are good this year. I mean, the Mets are just in the NLCS, so it's not like they haven't. They made the World Series in 2015.
Yeah,
2000. Like you've seen them have good years.
The 2000 World Series, I don't even want to play that back. I'd rather not have made the World Series in 2000 than for that to go down the way that it did. Really?
Yeah, that was my that was my argument to Yankee fans last year who were like, "Oh, I'm like, I don't mind seeing the Mets win." I'm like, "Yeah, until you play them in the World Series, and then if they win, you never hear the end of that. Like they're like you don't want to tempt fate. Like you don't want to mess with that." And like I wanted nothing to do with the Subway Series. I even said on radio, and I got a lot of heat from callers on ESPN New York, I'd rather not go to the World Series if I'm going to lose to the Mets than go and lose. Like, it's not worth it.
Oh, for sure. I would rather lose to the Dodgers in the NLCS than beat the Dodgers and lose to the Yankees.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. 100%.
There's no other sport. I'd rather go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Giants. Like, I don't hate the Giants like that. I'd rather
go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Giants than not go at all. Because, like, who knows if we'll ever get to see the Jets in the Super Bowl. So I can't. Right. And in football, I don't know. It's just the Giant Jet thing is not as real as the Yankee Met thing is. So to me, it's different.
Yeah, I don't have like the Giants to me are like the Vikings or the Falcons. Like, I don't care about, like, they're completely irrelevant to me. I don't care if the Giants make the playoffs or go 0-17. It makes no, like, they're irrelevant to me. I don't hate them at all. Like I hate the Yankees.
YouTube user. That's like Jet fans who say they're also Giant fans. Yeah, those people to me are frauds. I'm sorry. You can't root for more than one team if you're truly a diehard fan of a team. You can maybe respect another team, but if another team winning, you claim it brings you the same amount of joy as the team you're also a fan of, then you're not as big of a fan of that team as you claim to be. You're not a diehard. Diehards can't be a fan of more than one team. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I feel like you could root for players. Like, if you like, I like Kobe. So if the Nets got eliminated, I'd root for Kobe. But I was never at any point a Lakers fan. I hated the Lakers. I just loved Kobe.
Yeah, like I always was a fan of like Peyton Manning, right? So like I was happy when Peyton Manning like finally got over the hump against the Patriots and then like won his first Super Bowl. But like I didn't feel the joy of what it would be like if the Jets were going to the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
Good call, Gary. A lot of salient points tonight.
Be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Now, why did I play that? Because it's funny. That's it. All right, a couple super chats here. Reminder, end of the show, we're giving away a signed jersey on the air. Daily raffle. And Monday, we're giving away 3 prizes. Clyde Frazier jersey, Joe Namath jersey, CJ Mosley jersey. That's right. I got another one to give away. Big Loyal with a super chat. He's in the raffle for 4. All memberships are +2 for this show. It's the final show until the raffle Monday. I'm on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius XM from noon to 4 tomorrow Eastern. So you still can hear me, and I'll certainly talk about whatever happens in this Game 6 with the Knicks later. But probably not a YouTube show tomorrow. So this is last chance to get in the raffle and get in our daily raffle as well. Patriots fans have no business on this channel. Too much Spygate, Deflategate, or Tuck Rule energy wanted here, even though them crumbs got rings from it. You know my thoughts on Pats fans. Can't stand them. But 6 rings is allowed to comment and be a part of the community, but he's going to have no friends if he goes after the Jets, which he did on his first call, and then tried to walk it back as PBM exposed him. So he dug himself quite the hole. Now, he did win the Mosley jersey, though, on Thursday's show, fair and square, which sucks. And that's why, if you're just tuning in, here's an example of what I've been dealing with via my email correspondence with this guy. All right? It has been brutal. Here's a little sample. I like the jersey, to be honest. Surprised me. Diggs, Campbell, Drew, or the photo. Thank a lot. And I go, who's Drew? Bledsoe? Like every email, I got to ask multiple follow-up questions because he gives me no information. And then this is after I suggested a signed James White jersey. Signed James White 8x10 photo. Authenticated. Great photo. Him scoring the touchdown in the Super Bowl to beat the Falcons. And he goes, I like the jersey. I'm like, you like the jersey? You want a Jets jersey. You're not a Jet fan. You should be grateful with whatever I'm offering you. I offered you your money back. And he goes, well, I don't have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. I'm like, well, that's not really my problem, but I'm still dealing with this guy. But I have the Mosley jersey, so it was all worth it to make sure a scummy Pats fan doesn't get this. No chance. No way. We can't allow it. All Sports Carlos says, Gary was right about Bridges, at least in these last couple games, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Knicks most likely get spanked tonight. I think we've been very clear on what Bridges is. Did the Knicks overpay in all likelihood with the amount of picks they gave up to get him? Yes, but if they win a championship, no one's going to care. And honestly, they got him to beat Boston. They don't beat Boston without him. They're in the conference finals. Like, the picks could end up being guys who aren't any good. Like, it's basketball, man. Draft picks are a really big crapshoot in that sport, especially when the Knicks figuring to be good for the next couple of years. It's not like we're talking about picks that are going to be lottery picks or picks in the top 5, top 3. This is not when the Nets traded away all their picks to get a washed Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce for those picks to turn into Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That's not what the Knicks did. So sure, they overpaid. But you know what? Both sides could feel good about it. The Nets were not going to win with Bridges. They got a lot for him. And the Knicks feel like they got a piece that's going to help them maybe get to the NBA Finals. Certainly, it helped them get to the conference finals. It is what it is. Knicks fans have waited forever to have a team this good. They're in the conference finals. Sam with a super chat. We need another experienced wide receiver, not buying the Arian Smith hype or you. No. I'm not saying Arian Smith can't be good, but Nick Farrier was on this show the other day. He's like, I could see a path for him to be the second receiver on the team. I thought he was high. I thought he was on crack. I hope he's right. I don't buy it. I think they need another receiver. They obviously disagree. We'll see. There's a story that the Steelers are looking for a veteran receiver. I mean, when Rodgers signs there, I still think Alan Lazard, there's a strong possibility he's not a Jet. Jeffrey C. gifted a channel membership. It's +2, so 3 entries for Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey. John became a channel member. He signed himself up. Boom. John, +2 for you as well. Sir Luca gifted a membership, +2. Boom. In the raffle for 3, both daily and weekly. People keep asking me the question, if I gift for the Mosley jersey this show, am I in for the weekly raffle on Monday? The answer is yes, you are. Mike Dems. Shout out to you, Mike. Good to have you on Patreon now, too. In the raffle, +2. So in for 3. Earlier in the show, Nick Shine Venmo'd me to gift memberships for the people. So I'm going to count to 10. All of you who aren't channel members have a chance to get one right now. What you need to do is make sure you, 1, click the like button. That's the thumbs up icon. 2, hit the subscribe button right over there. right there. And 3, click on someone's name that gifted a membership in the chat and turn on that setting. I want to receive channel memberships. All right. You do that, you got a chance to get a channel membership. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gifting away right now.
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
If you hear your name called, you just received a Jake Asman Show channel membership from Nick Shine. He's the mastermind behind these that you will soon see. Ladies and gentlemen, the following 5 people are channel members now. Jet Set Go, DeRoyd, Sam H., Tommy Scuderi, Joe Marino, and Thea Flies High. Congratulations to those 5 people. Jeffrey C., gifting again, +2. Jeffrey, thank you very much. In for 3. All right, more of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. We bring on a guy who is beloved around these parts. He served our country, and he took a dump live on Charles Gorman's show.
Having some barbecue chips. Hello, Thunder Lips.
What's up, Charles? Oh yeah, take us around. Let me see.
This is my table. This is my fridge. This is my my bed stuff, but I had to get a new mattress. This is the couch I've been sleeping on. This is my television, my cable, my Xbox, my rich one. That was toilet paper. I saw that.
I don't know what you're talking about. A little bit of corn, but hey, congratulations on the house. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll call back. I'll be back.
All right, no problem.
What is going on, Jake?
Mr. Thunderlips, how are you?
Doing good. Man, I guess I got Gorman the wrong thing. I shouldn't have got him a brand new air fryer. I should have got him like Superman bubble bath shit or something like that. He would have been more excited. You know what I mean? I guess know you're up, right?
Right. The Batman shampoo seemed really excited for what it's worth.
I know. What the fuck? But no. Oh, Wendy, sorry. Hey, so when Gary's talking about, getting, an item from a team that you're not a huge fan of, I used to do these razzes to get autograph helmets. And I won a Tyreek Hill after he won a Super Bowl with Kansas City, and it was like Super Bowl inscribed, like an authentic helmet. I'm not a Kansas City fan, so I traded that shit. Unfortunately, I traded for a Le'Veon Bell helmet and a Sam Darnold helmet. Like, I have the worst autograph shit in my room. It's horrible. It's like players that aren't on the team anymore and stuff like that. But if it's an iconic player, like I don't think Mosley, I mean, for us, we love him, but he's not like an all-around iconic player. Like I have a helmet from Sanders in my office or my room because someone gave it to me and it's an authentic helmet and it's cool, from the Falcons. So of course I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, look, there are certain like items that I think you could have where like even if you're not a fan of that team or athlete, maybe it's cool. Yeah. But if it's like a division rival, you can't do it.
No, yeah, I would not hang freaking anything from the Bills or Red Sox or it's retarded, it's stupid. But hey, man, Connor did his transitions too when people were calling in, like using your board, were so smooth. It was awesome. Like, and not all 13-year-olds are created equal. That kid is definitely like
he's in 8th grade. The kid's in 8th grade. He did a great job.
I was showing my wife and she's like, "Oh my God," she's like, he's definitely going to be in like ESPN or be one of these beat reporters or something like that. It's awesome. It's good to see. But all right, man, I'm not going to say anything about basketball because the last 2 times I called, they were playing, they lost, and I'm not mentioning shit about it. So, you have a good night and go Jets.
Let's go, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Thunderlips.
You get the fuck out.
Knicks in 7. Believe. Jose Lopez has gifted or has sent in a $10 super chat +2 on that. Normally it's 2. Today, 4 for Jose in the raffle. Justin Fields is the best shot in the dark we could have hoped for this season in this situation. He's still young, talented, has big upside. Knicks are onto something defensively. Knicks in 7. Amen, Jose. He is the best of what they could have brought in. And the reason why I was steadfast on if you're going to move on from Aaron, Fields should be the guy, is because we can have conversations like what we've had on the show this week. What if it clicks? What do you think the conversation would be if the Jets signed Carson Wentz or they traded for Kirk Cousins? Like, I'm sure there'd be some of you who try to convince yourselves, 9-8, it all clicks somehow. Look at Fitzpatrick in 2015. But come on, man. We know what would have happened. And I'm not saying the Jets are going to be good with Fields right now. Right now, I don't have the Jets as a playoff team. I don't. Too much, I think, has to happen coaching-wise for me to really believe that. But I can't rule it out. Like, if you told me the Jets made the playoffs, it's not improbable with Fields because we just saw Darnold do something similar and Baker do something similar. Geno resurrected his career. Now, it's not the exact same thing because he bounced around a little bit more than Fields was or Fields has and Darnold did and Baker. And he was a few years older, but still, the point is there is talent on this Jets roster. This is not a team that doesn't have players. I thought it was interesting. One of the things that Steve Wilkes said why he was so attracted to the Jets is he looked at the roster and goes, they have a lot of talent here. They have an all-pro at all three levels of their defense. How many teams in the league, even some of the better teams, can say that? All-pro DT, all-pro linebacker, all-pro corner. Ascending young linebacker in Sherwood. Wilkes raving about him was cool to hear. We know Jermaine is really good when he comes back. We'll see what he is. I think he's still going to be a really good player. Will McDonald had 10.5 sacks last year. That's just your defensive line. Then you throw in Michael Carter if he's healthy. We know what he could be as a nickel. I really like A.Z. Thomas. Maybe they could coach up Brandon Stevens. Like, there's talent on this team. There's also talent offensively as well. The O-line is super talented. You have a number one receiver. You have a legitimate running back room. Engstrand says, I love Brees Hall. Good to hear. You're going to be the guy that can maybe get him to have his career year if you utilize him properly. Patriots fan writes in, Pat's 12. This is 6 rings. I like the show. I didn't mean to be difficult. I actually like your work ethic. See, here's my problem with Pat's 12. He knows how to butter me up. Even though his emails are ridiculously annoying to try and interpret. And even though shipping to Canada is a pain in the ass, I will be sending you something, Pat's 12. But I'm taking matters in my own hands. All right. Beggars can't be choosers when I'm sending you a signed item of a team you claim to be a diehard fan for. Like, if I was a Pats fan and someone offered me, instead of a C.J. Mosley signed jersey for a team I'm supposed to hate if I'm a Pats fan, someone offered me a signed James White game-winning touchdown in the greatest Super Bowl comeback ever, the greatest comeback in the history of sports, you could argue. Someone offered me that, signed photo, authenticated. You could hang it up on your wall in your man cave. I would say, that's awesome. Thank you. Fair trade. Not, I prefer the Drew jersey. Drew who? I'm supposed to know that's Drew Bledsoe? But you won the raffle, so I will make sure we get you something. Frank P checks in. Hey, Patriot fan, I'll give you $100 to give up the jersey. You have no way of getting him the money, Frank P. That's the problem. I tried to just refund him. No PayPal, no Zelle, no Venmo, no Cash App. So instead, I got to ask Boomtown, hey, how do I interpret this address on eBay to send something to Canada? How do I put this in on Amazon or on, Steiner Sports? Unreal. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he now has shampoo that is going to revolutionize the way he smells. It is time to say hello to everyone's new homeowner. Charles, Eugene, M, Gorman.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Artie. I got his package today.
Everyone's just sending you gifts.
Yeah, he sent me like a rack to put stuff in. I'm probably going to assemble it with either Nick Shin or my dad. And I just got the shampoo from Purple Belt Mike. I noticed he put Gormani on the mailing address instead of Gorman, but whatever. I got it. It's great, man. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I just used the body wash today. Smelled good, felt good. It's been a long time since I used Old Spice.
Now, let me ask you something, Charles. It appears like you're growing out the beard again. Are you concerned when you have to shave this time about a similar result to the last debacle?
Yeah. I have an electric shaver.
Well, are you prepared to use it, though?
Yeah, when the time comes, yes.
You think so?
Yes.
You're not concerned about cutting yourself again?
If I do, I'll get a first aid kit.
Maybe you should get a first aid kit in advance.
Good point.
Would you say that the criminality has been washed away?
Yes.
You would.
What do you mean the criminality? Criminality of what?
Well, you're washing your body now with Batman shampoo. So would you say the criminality has been washed away?
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, somewhat, yes.
Somewhat.
Clean and close. Precision trimmer. Wet and dry use. 35-minute shaving time, and it's German.
Is your toaster still in the closet?
Yes.
Show it to the people who missed the show the other day. There it is. See, there's no better place to store your toaster, folks, than obviously in your closet of the new apartment you moved into.
Hold on one second.
Where are you going?
Nowhere. I'm just closing my closet. Giving me a hard time, so I think of something.
So what's on the agenda today, Charles?
Well, I may do a video or two today. Who the hell knows? I just had lunch. I ordered Wendy's. Ordered delivery. I did have breakfast. I had a nice, interesting cereal. I had blueberry almond crunch.
So you had cereal this morning, and now we ordered Wendy's. What did you order from Wendy's?
A couple of grilled chicken wraps.
Beast Breaker is a big fan of Wendy's. He says Wendy's, good choice.
Wendy's is probably my favorite fast food place since I was a kid. Excuse me.
Charles, would you say that there was peak moment of happiness during this moment here?
A little bit, yes.
Thunderlips would like you to cook some food. Have you given that any thought?
Well, I did buy some meatballs.
Okay, that's good.
Here are the meatballs.
Hold on, let me go big picture on this. Show us the meatballs. Nice.
I got it from Oak Hill Farms.
Now, why did you and Bobby Midnight take your shirts off on the show the other day?
Oh, not on your show, on his show, because we felt like it.
No, I know it wasn't on my show. I didn't do my show yesterday. I had 2 guest hosts, but on the Bobby
I know
show.
you had Nick Shine for one.
Yep.
And you had Connor Long on the other.
Correct. Why did you do that?
On Bobby Midnight show, because I felt like it.
You just felt like getting freaky?
Yep. Calm your freaky down. That's what you're going to play now, right?
No, I'm going to play this.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
I laughed the other day when Nick Shine showed it on the show, yeah.
Now, what do you think would happen if your parents saw that? Do you think they would regret letting you live on your own in this new apartment?
No.
You think they support that type of activity?
Oh, would you stop, Jake?
I'm just asking the questions. People want to know. It's my job to ask the questions. They're not always going to be softballs, Charles.
My parents would be happy, but they wouldn't stop me from let me live on my own.
Okay, so they don't mind the freakiness, is what you're getting at.
They would be disappointed in my freakiness, but they wouldn't stop me from living on my own.
Okay, well, that's what I'm trying to find out. JoJo says that hurt her eyes. Would you like to apologize?
Sorry, JoJo.
JT says Bobby Show is about to get moved to Pornhub with that content.
I don't think it'll get moved to Pornhub, but we'll see.
YouTube user says this is disturbing.
Some random YouTube user, huh?
Pat Rich says, God, I never want to see that again. Truly disturbing. Yeah, what sicko would play that on a show about the Jets?
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers.
I would never do that, Pat Rich. Never.
You just did twice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Charles. Well done. Any other thoughts?
Well, I do think Justin Fields could have a breakout season this year if the coaching is as good as we hope it is. So far, from what I heard, the coaching has done a pretty good job in getting the team together in OTAs and training camp so far.
What do you think of Fields saying he's trying to be more vocal out there in the huddle and at practice? Do you think he's going to be able to do that?
That's great. That's a sign of leadership and maturity. Hopefully the team listens to him, though, which I think they will and they should. I definitely believe Garrett Wilson will listen to him. They're supposed to be good friends, right?
Would you say that Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson are better friends than you and Colin?
No.
So your friend Colin, you think you're closer with him than Fields is with Garrett?
I don't know about that, Jake, but I really can't say about that, Jake. I really don't know them personally. But I do know is me and Colin are very close. We're like brothers.
Has Colin been to your new place yet?
No, I'm trying to find a good time to get him over here. So
who has actually been inside the premises of your new apartment?
just my family. My father, my brother, my mother, that's it.
No friends.
No friends as of yet. Yep.
So who's going to have the honor and distinction of being the first friend to arrive at the apartment?
Well, we'd like it for it to be Nick Shine, but he's busy at the moment.
Nick Shine is too big time now to visit your apartment? Wow.
I don't know about that big time. Well, he did say he wanted to come to my new apartment last week, but he was busy. But I was still in the process of moving some stuff in here. So
I see. Good question from Boomtown. Where do your friends sleep during sleepovers, Charles?
Well, maybe on the floor. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I need to get a mattress.
You got to get an air mattress.
A mattress, not an air mattress, a mattress.
Big Will writes in, Charles, now being on your own, will you attend more Jake meetups so you don't have to ask the parents anymore?
Well, it all depends on the circumstances, you know. I would love to go, but it all depends on my budget.
Well, what do you think a watch party budget would be? How much is a train ride to Manhattan?
A lot of money, I'm guessing. I'm sorry,
A round trip ticket on the New Jersey Transit?
around $20.
Yeah. Some food?
Yeah, that costs a little bit of money too.
Maybe let's say maybe like $50 total on the high end.
Yeah.
I think we can make that happen.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a Venmo request when the time comes too, by the way.
I'll stop it.
Now, JD with some recommendations for you. He says, stop eating out and you'll save money.
I wasn't eating out. I ordered delivery, but I get what you're saying.
It's the same thing, though. If you're ordering delivery, you're still paying. You're paying probably more than if you just drove the Wendy's because you got the delivery fees and stuff they get you with.
That's true.
Dave Brigger with some advice. Charles, watch buying mattresses. They bait and switch.
Well, my parents are going to get me and trying to get me a new mattress, so it's going to be a size twin mattress. I have a not queen nor queen. It's just a size twin mattress.
So right now, can you show us the Charles Gorman bedroom?
Here's my bed.
Wait a second.
It's just some stuff there for now, but when I get the mattress, I'll move all that stuff.
Sorry, are you in a studio apartment? I'm not following because I see a couch there. So you've been sleeping on the couch?
Yes.
So when is your bed going to be ready?
Hopefully before the end of the year. Hopefully soon.
Before the end of the year. It's May 31st.
Hopefully soon. My parents are very busy and stuff.
Wait a second. So why did you move into your place? The first thing you would do would be set up the bed. No, when I moved into my New York City apartment last year, we got the
Sleeping
bed.
on the couch isn't a bad idea.
Obviously, if you do it just for a temporarily thing, but you have no idea when the bed is going to be ready. Why don't you hire someone off like Fiverr that could come and just install the bed for you?
I gotta do it with my parents first.
Okay, so where's the actual mattress though? Like, what do you need to set up the bed? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't you just
I
need to
took
put
off my mattress and my springs.
And
I'm gonna get a new mattress and a new set of springs.
Okay, so if I'm following here, go back to the couch. That's where you be sleeping?
Yes.
Is this a studio apartment if I'm following, right?
It's a studio / efficiency apartment.
An efficiency apartment. What does that mean?
It's an efficiency. What do you mean? You don't know what that means?
No, I don't know what that means.
It is a studio. It's the size of a studio, but it's also an efficiency unit.
Go to your front door and walk in. I want to get a feel for the layout here. I go outside, then walk in, and let's take a look at kind of the whole layout here. Okay. All right, you got a package. An Asmaniac definitely sent you something. Could have been what I sent you.
That's definitely you.
Okay, so you walk in, kitchen. Where's the bathroom? Don't give me a black screen on a show that has a visual component.
I'm sorry. Here's my bathroom.
Okay, so
here's my closet with all my stuff. That's my Xbox One. That's my trash can. That's my.
Wait a second. Why is the trash can in the closet?
And I'll put it there. Don't worry about it.
I'm very worried. That doesn't make sense.
Here's the Batman body wash. Here's the Dove shampoo. Here's my washcloth. Here's my soap. Here's my deodorant. Here's my tissue box. Here's my toothbrush and toothpaste. Here's my hand soap.
Okay, so is there one bathroom in the unit, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay, so this whole thing is the bedroom area, and then now we're in the kitchen, right?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Someone gave me that. Carly. Carly sent it. She sent this to me? Charles, congrats on the new apartment. Hopefully this stock will blue place up for a bit. Wishing all the best. That angel. That sweet, sweet angel. And she gave me dots.
Rick Kent with a super chat. Efficiency apartment is an apartment in which one room typically contains the kitchen, living, and sleeping quarters with a separate bathroom. Okay. Now, I am... It is officially on Saturday, May 31st, June 2025, that I have learned what an efficiency apartment is. Thank you, Rick. Now, I don't love the idea of the garbage being in the closet, Charles. Can we maybe move that to the kitchen?
I'm thinking about taking it out right now, actually.
Okay. Also, why is the Xbox in the closet if you have the TV set up?
Because I have my original Xbox set up near the TV set.
Okay, so you do have a gaming console already in place.
Yes.
Nick Shine writes in, like we said on Monday, it won't be long before we forget about the cut neck epic call, Charles.
Thanks, Nick. I don't know whether to take it seriously or to. I get what you're saying, Nick. Thank you.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh shit! You're not kidding.
Not even a week later, Charles Gorman providing us with more memories that will last a lifetime. Also, making it very difficult for Boomtown, I'd imagine, to come up with the final top 10 rankings here, because who do you put number one this month? Gorman or Beast? And there's been a lot of great callers, too. Rankings will be out next week. First one
Are
we've
we doing
done
another
since
Maniac
the tournament.
tournament?
Well, we do monthly rankings, but we gave the committee, and aka Boom, the month of May off after a phenomenal, or we gave the committee April off, and Boom was back to charting everything for the rankings for the month of May. So those will be out first week of June. Now, who sent you that package? I didn't hear the beginning of that. Your grandma?
No, it was Carly.
Oh, Carly sent you that?
Charles, congrats on the new apartment. This will stock the new place up for a bit. Wishing you all the best in your new home from Carly Fleischer.
Carly, your grandma, very similar, obviously.
What the fuck? Why is it upside down? Why the hell is it upside down?
So what do you have there? Rice Krispie treats? What else?
Fruit snacks, Gushers, blueberry almond crunch, bag of blueberry almond crunch that just opened up, mini Coke, milk, and water bottles.
Let the record show that my audience actually increased during this call to give Jet fans an idea on where we're at right now in the offseason.
I see.
Charles, have you thought about maybe doing a series on your show where basically as Maniacs send you stuff and you unbox it live on the air?
I don't know about that, but I'll give it some thought.
Why don't you not put your phone face down so we can't see anything but a dark screen?
Because I put my camera facing the back.
So maybe switch it. So, Charles, where's the aftershave? It hasn't arrived yet, has it?
No, it has not.
All right. Well, be on the lookout. And based on your neck, you're going to need it.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
It looks like you're wearing the official uniform of Charles Gorman today.
Hold on one second.
What am I holding on for? You're on my show. Charles?
Come in, Jay.
What are you doing?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah. I love it. I will say this. You do have maybe the best wardrobe of any consistent caller.
I'll take that. Thanks. I appreciate that. I don't know about that, but I'll take it.
You got it, Charles. Also, where do you do laundry? Where's the laundry room?
It's downstairs, but I send it home. After a week, I give it to my mom to wash. She doesn't trust the washing and drying machines here.
Must be nice. I don't have my mom do my laundry.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah. All right, Charles. Well, thank you for allowing us into your home today and providing us with a very unique inside look on the life of Gorman now.
Yeah. It's nice living on your own. Take care, everyone.
Charles, enjoy the Wendy's.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Mr. Gorman?
Just say hello, Mom. You're in the mood today. Mom's
How's the
making
mood
a
going?
macaroni salad, potato salad, and also egg salad, right, Mama? No.
Charles, what happened to your neck?
Oh, I shaved.
Charles, you're bleeding.
No, I
Fuck.
stopped the bleeding. I put the healing stick on it. Oh shit! You're not kidding.
Charles, go take a shower. Wash that off, pal.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Stop bleeding. Stop.
Looks great, Charles. You got it all. Perfect. Well done. There you go. Don't move.
Yeah, no. Leave your neck down. Go like this.
Charles, stop, man.
Was OJ at your new apartment? What really happened?
It bled a lot, but I stopped it with the healing stick.
Nate says he just called the Woodbridge police and they're going to be over in 3 minutes.
I'm not bleeding, guys. It's
Charles, stop showing it.
I actually have shaved my peeps in the past, but that's another story.
What does your mom think of this? Go ask her.
I did not shave with a Rambo knife.
Charles Gorman, First Blood.
Get the movie posters ready. Here we go. Coming to theaters this summer. Charles First Blood in theaters. July 1st. This is just too funny. Genergy says, go clean yourself up. She's a lady telling you this.
Fine, I'll clean up. I'll call back later.
Charles Gorman stars in Platoon. Looks like you got shot, Charles.
Are you done?
What do you mean, you people?
Mrs. Clifton watching alongside me on the smart TV, and she's troubled by Charles's wound.
Charles, you'll do something in 2 weeks that makes us totally forget about this shit.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Charles, a week ago, you called into a show taking a dump.
Totally forgot about it.
So you'll one up this. I'm not worried. It's what the greats do.
Mom, do everything rubbing alcohol? Found it. Let's sing right now.
What'd you do with the shirt? Throw it in the garbage?
Do it in the dirty.
No, you gotta take the blood off of it. Put my clothes.
I didn't put it down on the floor.
Well, rinse it out upstairs in the sink so all the blood comes out of it.
I don't care for that movie. Oh my God, you guys are unbelievable.
One more movie that Charles is starring in, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never change, Charles. What a legend. All right, couple calls left here. Am I frozen? Can anyone hear me? Can people hear me or no? Hold on. Beast, do you hear me?
Yes, I can, but you're frozen.
Okay.
Restart everything.
All right, hold on. Beast, do me a favor. StreamYard has a new setting where they respond to voice commands from people. So repeat after me. Boo boo bop, StreamYard reset.
Boom boom bop. Restarts. StreamYard reset.
Hold on, it's got to be fluid. It's boo boo bop, StreamYard reset.
Beam boom bop. StreamYard reset. Let's go.
One more time. One more time.
Beam boom bop. StreamYard reset. Rejected. Sorry. Shit. Well, guys, it looks like I'm going to have to do this prayer tonight because this is it for tonight. I'm going to do this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And tonight, strike first.
I think I'm back.
Strike hard.
Am I back? Did I?
Let's see.
lose 4
Check your
inches?
sound. Check your audio. Check your video. Check your internet, and also check your sound box. Check all 4. Audio, video, internet, and sound box. Check it all.
Check.
All 4.
Testing.
1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are you good?
Am I back?
You're good. You're good. You're clear.
Beast, I think your prayers worked.
Hey. God works in mysterious ways. Just remember that. He's watching, and tonight, I want to hear from all of you. Go New York, go New York, go.
Well done, Beast. That's why you're the IT guy on the show. Hep is up next. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Jake. I think the key to the game tonight is if the refs let them play. I don't want the refs getting involved and calling ticky-tack fouls. That's going to take the whole joy out of the game.
That's definitely part of it. They also, Towns and Brunson in particular, really Towns, this is like his MO, can't put yourself, even if the refs are calling it tight and they're calling a lot, you can't allow them to call the game that way. Meaning, like, Towns, what are you doing grabbing a guy holding his hand? Like what happened in game 4. Like, just play smart, because his offensive value being out there, matters so much. He's got the best plus minus on the team of any Nick in this series right now among guys who have played significant minutes. Like they don't have a guy who could guard Towns on their team. Like we've seen it. He's been dominant against them all year, including the regular season games. So he's got to stay on the court tonight if they're going to win.
I hope so. Now, this is the question. When we win game 6, are you going to game 7?
That's the plan. I don't want to talk
Whoa.
about a game 7 unless we get there. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay. I just want to know the big plan. Now, I believe in JF7. I think he's going to be good this year. He has something we've never seen before. I mean, we saw Old Man Vic a little bit, but, nothing like this is going to be.
No,
This is good. Yeah.
I don't think I have it in front of me, but the stat that I think stands out is Geno Smith leads the Jets in their history in rushing yards in a single season with like 370 his rookie year. Like Fields, if he's healthy, he's going to shatter every rushing record by a Jet quarterback that exists.
Yeah, so the defenses are going to load the box like normal, and that's where Smith comes involved. Because even if he drops the ball, if he goes 60 yards down and he throws the ball, they're going to say, oh, shit, we got to cover that back end. We're exposed over there. That's going to loosen up the middle, and that's where we got the tight end and GW comes into play. But, we have to see it to believe it. I mean, we've been burnt the last 5 years. Hopefully we come out at the first half starting good as opposed to wait until the second half,
They cannot get down tonight because I really think the opening quarter of this game, first 5 minutes, 8 minutes, it's everything. Everything. Because Indiana's going to come out. They want nothing to do with having to get back on a plane and go back to the Garden for a game 7. They played awful in game 5 or game 4. Game 5. It looks like they were like, human nature. We're fine. Like maybe they told themselves subconsciously, let's end it tonight. I think it's human nature when you get down to not have that same fight when you know you had a game in hand. They know they could win this at home later. So the Knicks have to be prepared for the onslaught that's coming early in this game. Don't allow Indiana to dictate the tone of the game and get up on you big, because then you spend all your energy trying to fight back to get into it. And then naturally you use all your energy to make it a close game again. And then they go on another run, which always happens. So I think the opening quarter tonight, it's the most important first quarter of the game.
Yeah, this is the hard game. This is going to be the real battle. Bing bong. Let's go. Woohoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Hep getting us going.
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Super chats continue to cut the line. Earlier in the show, we saw Charles Gorman open up on the air his housewarming gift from Carly. We find out more information that apparently it was supposed to be a squatty potty, but there was no option to include a gift note. So I think I have an idea. I will send Charles Gorman a squatty potty in addition to the aftershave. Once again, if you are sending Charles Gorman a gift, subject to open it on the air. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Last chance to get in on the raffle. CJ Mosley jersey, end of the show, giving it away. All memberships and super chats that hit the threshold are +2. For example, $10 super chat normally gets you 2 raffle entries. Today, it's 4. Get 5 memberships, you actually get 7. So keep that in mind. All right. Love when this guy calls in. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic is on the line. What's up, Dominic? Thanks for gifting earlier.
What's up, Jake? Yeah, you're welcome. How are you doing today, man?
Oh, man. It's been a wild show, huh?
It has. Look, I don't know if anybody's addressed this with Charles yet, but he should try to get some sort of lighting that is not overhead lighting, like a lamp or something like that in that apartment to set the mood, so to speak, if you will. So might be something to think about there. But hey, a squatty potty will help.
Look, I'll say this. The squatty potty is one of the best things a man can own, and women for that matter. But
it's universal. It's universal.
I've been a squatty potty user now for several years, and I stand by it. Like when I go on the road, if I'm like away from home, there's a noticeable impact not having the squatty.
It throws it off. It throws it off.
It's one of the great inventions of mankind.
It's the home court advantage right there. But look, I like what I'm hearing Justin Fields say, what Aaron Glenn has to say. It's been very optimistic offseason. I think the expectations, keeping low expectations is kind of key with this. But yeah, I'm all for what Justin Fields has to do. I think you made the comparison last week or something, like how Vinny came in and he was kind of recharged his career with the Jets. And with Fields, he's only like 26 years old. Vinny was like 35 at the time. So it's just like there's a lot of possibilities for Fields to kind of showcase and show out a little bit. So I'm pretty excited for that, I think.
Especially when you just look at his age, right? Obviously, there's examples of like Minnie and Fitz was older, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't be the first guy that finds it at that age. Like he's still entering what should be the prime of his athletic career,
Absolutely. And just that vote of confidence he's getting from Aaron Glenn, and whether that's like a combo of him like just supporting him and helping him, or it's genuine, it's like you can't go wrong doing that. It's putting your full confidence behind him. So I like it. I'm excited for what may be to come. But yeah, as a Jets fan, you're always kind of on your heels. So
yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, cool. But hey, gonna watch the Knicks game tonight. Should be fun. What a fun season it's been either way. And so it'll be just kind of cool to tune in and see what they're able to do against the Pacers tonight. So, but that's it. That's all I got, Jake.
Dominic, thanks for the time, man. Great call. Addison writes in, Charles is going to become Slider Man with that squatty potty. It's actually a great gift to give to Gorman if you think about it. It makes a lot of sense. It's something that I think needs to be done. He already said he had a lot of Lysol. That was another idea I had. So I'm sending him aftershave and perhaps a squatty potty.
Excuse me.
Couple super chats here. Then I got to get the names together for the raffle. V-Man, $10 super chat. Where you been, V-Man? Good to have you in this raffle. If the Knicks win game 6 and the Pacers have to come back to MSG for I think you mean game 7, we get the point. They're going to be mentally spooked. Few teams who blow a 3-1 lead go into game 7 confident. But it doesn't mean Indiana couldn't win a game 7. Like I do think if the Knicks win tonight, I'd pick them to win Monday. But we can't worry about that. One game at a time in all likelihood. Indiana wins tonight, right? That's how these things usually go if you look at the history. But I'd argue this is different because how often is the team in the 3-2 spot feeling like they should be up 3-2 after what happened in game 1? Truly, it was a once-in-a-lifetime collapse by the Knicks or comeback by Indiana. I think these two teams are very even. And I think the Knicks maybe found something in game 5 defensively. Or Indiana just knew they had a game in hand and they checked out once the going got tough. That's why I think the opening quarter tonight will tell us a lot. But I'm not giving up on this team until they're done. They've been good on the road all year. Been good on the road, great on the road in the playoffs. And they've already won a game in that building. And this is not going into Chicago with Jordan. This is not taking on, the Warriors with Durant, Steph, Clay, all in their primes. Indiana's a very good team, but so are the Knicks. Kyle Clifton, he says, Mosley me, baby. Kyle in the raffle for 4. Daniel Scavavino in the raffle for 4. Boom. Exciting year. I think this will be the most competitive the Jets have been since Rex. Competitive, meaning how many wins, Daniel? You think this team could get over 500? They could win more than 7 for the first time since 2015? Because they were competitive in 2015. They were 10-6. And they missed the playoffs. So the only thing to be above that would be they make the playoffs. So that's how I'm interpreting your super chat, unless you forgot about the 2015 year. So you'll have to let us know. Big fella, send Charles a squatty potty with a ring light. Now we're talking. Let him take dumps on the air on a squatty potty with great lighting. That would do wonders for his channel. Rick Kent with a great point, though. The ring light will reflect in Charles' glasses. All right, so now we need to send Charles a squatty potty with contact lenses, is what you're saying, Rick. Addison says, send him a bidet. I heard you know an installer. The problem is the installer doesn't like going to New Jersey, so that seems unlikely. Jay writes in, do they make Spider-Man toilet seats and matching shower curtains? Now we're talking, Jay. Do they make superhero toilet paper? Or would Charles feel like it'd be disgraceful to wipe his derriere with the Spider-Man logo on it? Or the Batman logo? I don't know. A lot of suggestions out there. Nick Shine says we're going to pimp out his bathroom for optimal YouTube calls. John says it has been a while since the Charles brunch incident, and that couple has not been active in the chat or calls. I didn't think they would be, though, to be fair, John. That was to me a one-off by that couple. Beastbreaker writes in, ew, if you're taking a dump, do it in private. I agree. But certain people, like Charles, they play by their own rules, unfortunately. Right? So that's just the world we're living in. Certain people play by their own rules. Charles Eugene M. Gorman is one of those people. Beast, you know this. I know this. We all know it. Sick. Hit the like button. Are we ready for a raffle? Last chance to get in here. Last chance to suggest a housewarming gift to Charles Gorman. Addison says, I heard they make swings for bedrooms. Charles would love one. Dominic says, get him a Gorman neon sign for behind the shitter. Another idea. A lot of good suggestions out there. What do you get for a man who has it all?
Hi, Charles.
Hey, guys.
Are you all dressed up
He
today?
can't stand up. He's taking a shit.
Are you in the bathroom?
The bathroom, bro.
Yes, I'm in the bathroom, Bobby.
Are you taking
a dump?
Are you
taking a dump?
You're not gonna have that crap.
That man was way too concentrated.
couldn't show the fit because his pants were around his ankles.
I'm not having that shit again. Charles, you're not coming in anymore until you get that.
Indubitably.
Yo, he just fucking. What happened?
He's in the bathroom calling my show again.
I don't want to see that. Oh shit, man. Anyway,
I don't come in to take a shit on your show. Charles, do never ever come on my show getting in the crapper, okay?
My bad. Anyway, I just want to stop by and say hi. Sorry about the bathroom incident.
Sorry about the bathroom incident. No, you're not, Charles. You sicko. You're not sorry about it. All right. While that video was playing, I was accumulating everyone who entered in the CJ Mosley daily raffle. It wasn't easy to get this Mosley jersey back from Mr. Six Rings himself, but the things you do for the Asmaniac community. So I have the names. I am currently inserting them into the website I use for the Wheel of Champions. And with that said, that means it's time to spin the wheel. Good luck to all. It is raffle time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
The music is playing, which means it's time to spin the wheel. We'll do another raffle on Monday again. Monday, raffle for the Clyde jersey, Nave it jersey, and another CJ jersey. But right now, let's spin a wheel, shall we? Hold on. Why isn't it working? There it is. All right, shuffle the names, shall we? 102 entries in this daily raffle. Only one can win. The winner. Hold on, Genergy at the buzzer. You kidding me, Genergy? Win for the Burrows. I'm going to manually type Genergy's name 7 times. Genergy, you're lucky we love you. Thank you very much. Energy. Now let's do this, right? Copy and paste. And then 1. 7 for Genergy. It's +2. She's been added. Shuffle the names again. Everyone can see the transparent process. Transparency is key on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, time to spin the wheel. Someone's walking home with a jersey. Everyone else is a giant loser. Just kidding. You can win more prizes on Monday. Here we go. The winner is Jake Asman Show listener Mimosa. Congratulations to Mimosa. She wins the signed CJ Mosley jersey. That means Monday will be the day that we give away our amazing top prizes of the Clyde jersey, Joe Namath jersey, and yet another CJ Mosley Jets jersey. But congrats to Mimosa. She won it fair and square. We know she's a real Jet fan and not a Pats fan, unlike 6 rings who won this jersey last time we did this. Great job. Thanks to everyone who participated. Best listeners in sports. Before we end the show, Connor Long in the house. Thank you, all the Asmaniacs, for the support yesterday. And Jake, you're the go. Connor, great job. Connor nonchalantly booking Jeremy Fowler and making some news out of that interview. Well done. Incredible. Boom. So job well done by Connor. Thanks to him and Nick, of course, Nick Shine, who filled it in. All you guys were great. I went back and watched the show when I got home yesterday. Saw the end of Connor's show. So really, really good stuff. I'm on the radio tomorrow, 4 hours, noon to 4. Hopefully I'm talking about a Knicks-Pacers Game 7 and not the end of the Knicks season and previewing an NBA Finals that I think a lot of people might not watch with Indiana and OKC, but let's hope that's not what we're talking about tomorrow. On that note, thank you again. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat, membership, who called the show. You guys are the best. In all likelihood, Monday is the next show, which is why I said this was the last show for the raffles. If there's breaking news, which you can't rule out, I will go live. And you know what? I can't end the show just yet. I got actual breaking news. Holy crap.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Little Joey is here.
Yep, he wanted to come out for today.
All
Yep.
right. Hey, ask Little Joey if the Knicks are going to win tonight, B, so I can end the show on a high note.
Our boys ready to win tonight? Yeah, he's giving me a sign, and he's giving me that sign. He's ready. But we're going to be watching Collision. We're going to be watching Collision, and we're going to watch our boys tonight. You know why? This fist right here is going to go right across the face of the Pacers. This right here, the cemetery, will be for their death. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Good night, Pacers. And remember, rest in peace.
What a show. If you're coming to Tampa, join the Patreon, book your hotel pretty soon. You can lock in your game tickets, though, ASAP before we run out. Thank you all. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Knicks in 7, but you can't do that unless you win tonight first. So let's get a win tonight. Let's go, Knicks. Talk to you guys soon. Go Jets. And thanks to everyone who tuned in here on a Saturday.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Taking their shirts off.
Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh shit, you're not kidding.